Hi everyone, this is Kalyan Kumar this side and welcome back to Chemistry Universe. You're looking at part 15 of the amine series and this is the fourth part of the aniline series. This is very important part for aniline because it uses all the reactions of benzene ring. So this is very important and these are unique to aromatic amines only. So let's get on with the video. Alright, so this is part 15, alanine 4, chemical properties 3. We are talking about reactions on benzene ring. Now let's see what reactions we are going to talk about. Reaction number 13 of aniline, reaction due to benzene ring. The first one we talk about is halogenation. Now we have done all of this in electrophilic aromatic substitution. I'm just recapping all of this. So remember, when you have aniline reacting with bromine in the presence of carbon disulfide, you will get orthobromo aniline, you will get para-bromoaniline, but majorly you will get tribromoaniline. And these two are minor and this is major. Okay. But instead of CS2, if you take a more polar solvent like water, then mono won't be formed, only the tri is formed. So in order to carry out monobromination exclusively, because right now we have not been able to carry out major product as monobromination, this is what we do. In order to carry out the monobromination, the NH2 group is first converted to moderately activating acetanilide and then subjecting it to bromination, followed by an acid or base catalyzed hydrolysis. What I mean is, you convert the strongly activating group NH2 by reacting with CH3COCl, acylation or acetylation, and you will get acetanilide. Remember, we got this and removes the NHCl. Now, this acetanilide is a moderately activating group, exclusively gives para. So now you do normal bromination with FeBr3, you will get para-bromo as major and ortho-bromo as minor. And if you hydrolyze the major and the minor separately, you will get this. All right. And of course, if you want to get the ortho as major, you better block the para with sulfonation and then probably you might get some yield of this. So next is nitration. So when you use aniline with HNO3 and sulfuric acid, remember what happens is, besides getting the normal nitration of ortho and para, you'll also get meta because nitrogen being a strongly activating group, the nitrogen's lone pair will get protonated by H plus from sulfuric acid. So you will get ortho, you will get meta and you will get para. And the yields are 2%, 47% and 51%. So despite the fact that there is a good reason for meta direction, the major product is para, but they're very comparable. So again, if you want the mononitro thingy and you want a good yield of orthopara, well, again, you convert it into acetanilide. Then do nitration, you will get major as para. Then do the hydrolysis, you will get this. Similarly, when you do sulfonation, now alanine reacts with sulfuric acid forming a salt which at 180 degree on heating yields sulfamic acid. Now, if the heating is continued for up to 3 hours, then it will undergo rearrangement and that will give you the sulfonate ion. So it's a zwitterion. So what I mean is that you take aniline, you do sulfonation, you will first of all get the salt. Heat it to 180, it will lose water and you will get sulfamic acid. But heat it further for at least 3 hours, the H from the para position will come to nitrogen, it will form NH2 and the SO3H will go and sit there and then it will lose the H plus to NH2 and give you this, because SO3H is a strong acid, NH2 is a good base and therefore it will exist as ion. This is sulfonilic acid and it exists as a zwitterion. But remember, in contrast to this, you don't expect to have para-nitrobenzoic acid, not nitro, I'm talking about para-aminobenzoic acid. Do not expect this to exist like a dipolar ion. even though you can assume that this is acidic because it is not that much acidic sufficient enough to give the proton to NH2. So in contrast, para-aminobenzoic acid does not exist as a dipolar ion because the COH is a very weak acid in comparison to SO3H and is unable to transfer proton to the weakly basic NH2 group. The next is a very, very important reaction. This is how you can get methylamines. This is called the Hofmann-Matthias rearrangement. Basically what happens is when you do exhaustive methylation of aniline, remember you got this? This is what we got from exhaustive methylation of aniline. Now heat it to 300. One of the methyl groups will go and hit the para carbon and the H of that will go to N. Heat it again. Another CH3 will go to ortho. Heat it again. The next CH3 will go to ortho. Now add a base to remove the proton to hydrolyze the salt. Water will be released and you'll get aniline. So you get 2,4,6 trimethyl aniline. This is Hofmann-Matthias rearrangement. Now you also have something called a benzidine rearrangement, very interesting reaction. This is benzidine and you add H plus and see what happens. You get this amazing compound. And not only the ortho, you get not only the para, you get the ortho also. So the para is 70% and the ortho is 25%. So let's see what actually happens here. And of course, both will become ortho and this will be even feeble, 5%. So let's see what actually happens. It's all electrophilic substitution reaction. So you first add H plus, the two H pluses will go and sit on both nitrogens. And this is how the bonds move. Please pay attention to the bond movement. Bond moving here, because remember you're heating it. This will go to here. And let's say the para of 1 is attacking. This will go here. This carbon will act as a nucleophile and attack this carbon. Pi bond will shift here and this will shift here. So the para of one is attacking the para of the other. You will end up getting this. If you can't understand this, try and make it yourself. You will get this. And then it will lose both the H plus ions, and this is how it loses it. One H plus ion is lost like this. It goes here, this goes here, and this goes here. Again, it becomes aromatic. The other would also go like this. This will go here, this will go here, and this will go here. It will lose the 2H plus that it took initially, and you will get para-para. So similarly, you'll get para-ortho, ortho-ortho. And the last, of course, is the catalytic hydrogenation of benzene, because now NH2 is already reduced sufficiently. So it will only reduce the benzene. You need high pressure and high temperature, and you will get cyclohexamine. And that finishes this particular video, that is reactions of benzene ring. So with that, we come to the end of this video, and go through each and every reaction and take your time, try and understand the mechanism. And not every reaction needs the mechanism, but wherever it is given, please make sure that you understand it so that it becomes easier for you to relate to the product. Not that anybody is actually going to ask you those mechanisms. Anyway, with that, this is Kalyan Kumar signing off. Have a great and wonderful day, and thank you for watching this.